These plants bring me no joy. Hi folks, it's Crystalline. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be an interesting one. It is going to be houseplants that I hate. And it's going to be interesting because some of these plants I would highly, highly, highly recommend for other people, but they're not for me. And interestingly, some of these plants are actually plants that I have recommended to other people, and these plants are plants that people love for whatever reason. I have everything on this list from super common that you can get at the grocery store to, and plants that I have gotten at the grocery store, to a couple plants that are a little more rare. Actually, I think I only have one rare plant on this list. Yeah, so a couple of these plants are on this list because of faults of mine, but some of these plants are on this list because they simply hate me. I cannot take care of them. I feel like I could probably easily advise someone else to take care of them, but my style of taking care of houseplants does not lend itself well to these plants. Before we get into the video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and do so. I am doing Plantmas or Vlogmas or whatever you want to call it, and I am posting videos every single day, so you don't want to miss any of those. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and if you end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let's get into it. So the first plant on this list, I'm going to start with this plant because I literally just made a video recommending this plant. And I highly recommend it for literally anyone else other than me. The aloe plant. This plant does not like a lot of attention. I like to give my plants attention. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is about this plant. I am keeping it and I'm still taking care of it because it puts off pups, and I do want to be able to give the pups away to my friends. This is a plant that I should love because it likes bright light, it likes, it's easy to propagate either through division or from like the pups, like I said, but I don't like this plant. I would never buy another aloe plant. I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't used the aloe from this plant for medicinal purposes, or you can actually like make food and drink with aloe too, but I just don't like this plant. And yeah, if anyone wants an aloe plant, let me know. I will gladly put you on my list of people to give a pup to. But yeah, I actually gave away the rest of this plant because I just don't like it. And this one is enough for me. It sits in my bathroom. It brings some greenery to the bathroom, even though I have a lot of plants in there. It brings some greenery to my sink specifically, and it's living its best life, and I don't have to do anything for it, which is probably why I don't like it. It doesn't need me, and I like needy plants. You will notice that a lot of these plants are very low care requirement plants, and that is probably why most of them are on this list. Let's go to a plant that does need more attention, but does not like the attention I like to give my plants. This is one of my very sad Fiddle Leaf Figs. You may remember my houseplant tour where this was a beautiful, bushy Fiddle Leaf Fig. I thought it would be a good idea to try to divide this plant. It hated it. I should have known that it would hate it because Fiddle Leaf Figs are sensitive and fragile plants that don't stand up well to having their roots ripped apart. But I want plants that I can propagate. I like being able to propagate plants. I realized that I don't love giant plants, so I wanted to split this one up. I was thinking maybe I could give the other pieces away to friends because I didn't need all of them. But I'm not giving anyone a plant in this condition. I am still trying to take care of them. I am still rehabbing them. I'm not giving up on them, but I will most likely never buy another Fiddle Leaf Fig unless I buy one that is already in a tree state and I can just put it in a bright corner and don't have to think about it, but I will never buy another bush of Fiddle Leaf Fig. And the next plant on my list is on this list for no fault of its own, no fault of my own, but it is the Dracaena Marginata. This plant, similar to the aloe, just does nothing for me. It's very fun, very tropical. It does definitely add like life to a room, and I would highly recommend this plant for pretty much anyone, especially people who are new to taking care of plants and don't want a plant that requires a lot of work. I don't have to do anything for this plant, but in return it does nothing for me. And I think that's the entire problem, honestly. I got this plant at Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't regret buying it because at least I learned that I don't like it, but I'm probably gonna purge this plant. At the beginning of spring, I'm thinking I'm going to do a houseplant purge because I'm gonna wanna bring new plants into my house in the spring, and this is one that is on the list to go. So if you know anyone looking for a Dracaena Marginata, they're great plants. They don't need a lot of care. They don't need a lot of light, but I don't love it. The next plant on my list is actually a succulent that I thought I would like because it's interesting, but it's very fragile, and that is my Burroughs Tail. Yep, this is a very sad plant. I have knocked it over a few times, and if you even so much as bump these, the little leaf bulb things start to fall off. You can see I have them back in the soil. This is the pot I bought it in. I haven't done anything to try to repot it or anything. I think Burroughs Tails, like mature Burroughs Tails, are really cool, but I would never buy one of those because they're expensive, and I would just end up with these little leaf things all over the place. This little leaf is starting to root, so that's good. The nice thing about succulents is that the leaves, when they break off, you can just put them back in the soil. Maybe I'll end up with a bunch of Burroughs Tails, and maybe when I make my favorite plants of 2021 list, it'll be on there, but I highly doubt it because I don't like succulents. These plants bring me no joy. This is a Pilea peperomioides, and it doesn't like me. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I have done wrong. It's putting out a pup. I like the little pups that it puts out, so I'm gonna keep this plant. I'm gonna try my best to learn how to care for it, but I'm doing something wrong, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. If you know what I'm doing wrong, please let me know. I think I'm not giving it enough light. I think I'm gonna move it to a brighter spot. Pilea peperomioides. The next plant on my list is the Photonia, also known as the nerve plant. This plant hates me, but also it hates me because I have cats who knock it over. So this plant has fallen. This is one of the plants that I pick up probably every single morning. My cats knock it over. It is a cat-safe plant, and that is why it is in their reach. And it's also not a plant I care enough about to care if it gets ruined, and I want to have plants throughout my apartment, and I know that that means that my cats might knock them over. Photonias are really dramatic. It's a very hardy plant. Like, this plant has been through a lot. It has been knocked over. It has probably been chewed on by my cats. This plant will really let you know when it wants water. It starts to wilt. It's still living. It's not living its best life. I will not say that it is living its best life. It was one of the first plants I got. Everyone said it was dramatic, so I thought that meant that it would need my care a lot and that I would like it. It does need me. It does need water. It needs humidity. The next plant on my list is my only rare or uncommon plant on this list, and it is the Rhipsalis decursiva. This was one of my wish list plants. This is the second Rhipsalis decursiva I have had because I killed the first one. And I'm not killing this one, but it's not happy. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with it, but I do know that this plant is a very slow grower, and I think that might be why I don't love it. But it's just not doing it for me. I probably will not buy another Rhipsalis decursiva unless it is a super mature specimen with large mature leaves with the fenestrations in them, because that is why this is one of my wish list plants. But it's got really thick leathery leaves, so it doesn't need a ton of water. There's no reason for me not to like this plant other than the fact that it doesn't grow and it doesn't really do anything. So yeah, that's why it's on the list. The next plant on the list I got as a cutting and have been growing it from a cutting, and it is this Rhipsalis. I know nothing about Rhipsalis. It kind of seems like a cactus. I don't even really have a lot to say about why I don't like it. It's just not my thing. Rhipsalis. The next plant is this air plant. Another plant that does literally nothing. It's alive. It's not unhappy. It's not super happy, but it's not unhappy. But I keep it in this cute little air plant thing, and I keep it in my bathroom so it gets humidity because that's what it likes. And that's all I can say about this plant. This was one of the plants I got in my plant parent starter kit from the Sill. So I don't regret it because I didn't choose it, but I don't foresee myself ever buying another air plant. The last plant on this list is a plant that I got from Publix, and it is this Lucky Bamboo. I purchased this plant because I thought the pot was cute, and I thought this would be a nice plant to put on a desk in an office. And then COVID lasted forever, and I have not been in an office. So this plant just sits on my kitchen windowsill. Will I take it and put it in my cubicle once I'm in the office? Probably, because it'll probably like survive there fine. But until then, it's doing nothing for me. So thank you guys so much for watching my 10 least favorite plants of 2020. If you or anyone you know are interested in any of these plants, hit me up because I would not be sad about parting with them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so now. And in the comments down below, tell me what your least favorite plants are, either of this year or of all time. Just like I said with my top 10 favorite plants of 2020, you can leave me a list of 10 plants or however many plants it is you don't like. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys.